Good morning and welcome to the VSA Morning Miner. It's Friday, the 10th of March, and today, with Paul still in Toronto and Andrew out and about, I'm joined by David Scriven. David, how are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm very well indeed. I hope you're likewise.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all good.
Very, very good. I'm glad it's maybe the 10th because the 13th might be a bit tricky in the sense of market's a little bit edgy at the moment, and we've got the non-farm payrolls coming up at 1:30 and the unemployment rate, which will perhaps keep people on edge. But we're here to talk about mining, and I noted that cattle had earnings beat. They have about 37% of the global market for EV batteries, and they were 30.7 billion yuan versus 28.8 for the street, and the stock was up 3.3%. And I think there's been a bit of worry in the market about price cuts, but anyway, that was quite encouraging results, I guess. And then perhaps you could comment on Wheaton, because they seem to have fairly robust numbers.
Yes, Wheaton came out with Q4 results. Obviously, there's some read through to the full year as well. The production numbers for the quarter were down quite a long way. 148,000 ounces of gold equivalent production. That's down 20% year on year, meaning gold equivalent sold was down 9.7% to 142,000 ounces. There seemed to be some ongoing grade issues at some of the key mines: Antamina, Penasquito, San Dimas, and also there was maintenance at Salobo number 3 that drove that lower production. That was partly offset by some increases at Constancia and Sudbury, but with that maintenance period now complete at Salobo, they're guiding to a modest increase in production in 2023 to 600 to 660 gold equivalent ounces. In the quarter, that lower production did mean, as well as lower gold prices, did mean that revenue was down about 15% to $236 million, and net earnings were down 43% to $166 million. Costs were pretty much unchanged, but that is the nature of royalty companies, having a low and fairly fixed cost base.
Yeah, I think they added 4 new streams, which I think they takes their total to about 20 operating mines and 12 development projects. Very robust cash too at 696 million, I believe, and they've also got huge undrawn facilities. So I would imagine they're pretty robust position with the 30 years of mine life on proven and probable. So still pretty favourable, I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a good position. It's just having a number of projects at the same time hitting lower grade periods in their mine plan, which seems to be slowing them down a bit.
Fair enough. Other news a bit on Hummingbird, wasn't there?
Yes, there's a small construction update, and also the announcement that the open offer has closed. That followed a $15 million strategic investment by CIG Group, local African investment fund, and with the open offer and some other institutional investment, that takes them to $17.1 million in total. So that will support with the completion of construction at Carusa, and also the working capital for the turnaround at Yanfolila, which we saw starting to come through in Q4. There's limited take up on the open offer, but I guess that reflects where the story is at the moment. That turnaround isn't embedded yet, but I mean that's the opportunity here in terms of where the share price is. If that turnaround continues and they execute successfully on the Carusa startup, then they'll be on track for, I think, over 200,000 ounces per annum next year, and significant earnings, assuming they hit their targets. I think the share price is now about 40% from the October lows. The construction update shows some time-lapse footage, and all looks on track for I think first gold pour next quarter.
What sort of ASICs do they have?
Well, Q4 I think showed that they got back to about sort of 1400 at Yanfalila, and obviously they're hoping to reduce that further in the coming quarters. They had been loss making at the early part of last year, so it's quite a significant turnaround to have got that far. And then Carusa is much more robust than that.
Like a fruit. Any other further thoughts for the day?
Actually, fairly quiet this morning, so just those two, I think.
Wish our listeners
Okay, David, thanks very much. Cheers.
happy.